What is good, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited for this video. I've been waiting to post a video like this for months. And with competition season heating up, there's actually no better time than now to give y'all your beginner's guide to show day makeup. I know it can be super overwhelming. The cost of competing is actually insane. And then having to factor in hair and makeup. Honestly, it's an unnecessary expense. I really believe anyone who is decent at doing makeup can manage to do their own show day makeup. Or if you have someone in your personal life who is decent at doing makeup, ask them to do it for you. I'm gonna give you guys everything you need for a successful show day makeup look. We're gonna go over foundation shades and blending techniques, how to choose bronzer and blush colors, eyeshadow techniques, all the things. So this is the final look that we're going for. This is a very neutral eye makeup look, and I feel like this is pretty universal for any color suit, which is why I'm making this video as my first show day makeup tutorial. I want to do a full playlist on show day makeup, so this is my most natural, universal show day makeup. Honestly, this will work with any suit color. And I definitely want to get into more smoky eyes, darker shadows, choosing colors that work with your suits. So I do want to make this a whole playlist. But to start, with competition season ramping up, I figured the best thing for y'all is just giving you a very universal look. This is the same look or very close to what I did for my second show last year. Also pretty similar to my first and third shows, or last season, not last year. So very standard show day makeup tutorial. Let's get into it. Y'all do not need to be spending $400 on makeup that you're gonna wear for one day. And to make it even better, we are only using one eyeshadow palette, so y'all do not need to drop a bag on makeup products. It's unnecessary. So without further ado, let's get into this show day makeup tutorial. Okay, I have already primed my skin with a layer of sunscreen, so there's already a little bit of moisture to it. So if you haven't done that, definitely moisturize your skin. That is step number one. Always. Step number two is primer. Hot take, I don't really use too many primers. My skin doesn't really need it. I find my makeup still looks good and it still stays good throughout the day without a primer, but this blurring balm is so good. I just got the universal shade, so it literally just looks like this. It is actually insane, hides your pores in an instant. I will go in, and you don't need to put this everywhere, just areas you notice you have super visible pores. So I get a lot of acne and blackheads on my cheeks. So I'll come here. I do like to go under my eyes because I will get a lot of creasing under my eyes a lot of the time. So I'll go under, and then I hit up my T-zone right there. Rub that up. Then I just put whatever left over on my nose and my chin. I actually like to start with my eyes. I know this could also be a hot take. A lot of people like to do their base first, but I think with show day makeup and the amount of fallout you're gonna have from the glitters and the darkness, because everything is gonna be a lot darker than your usual shades, I typically like to start with the eyes. I think it's the smartest. It's the easiest way to avoid the fallout and the blur under your eyes, because that can totally make you look crazy on stage. Okay, to prime my eyes, I'm going in with a concealer. Sometimes I will use the shade Soft Ochre in this MAC paint pot, but recently I've been more into using a concealer. I find that the eyeshadow blends in a lot easier because it's more dewy versus that is like super matte, and it's a little bit harder for me to blend. So I'm just going to go in with my one size concealer all over my lids, just like that. You can go heavy with literally everything show day wise, because you're gonna look a completely different person. You don't need to worry about going overboard because everything should be overboard. So really just pack that into the eyes, get a good base. We want everything to be like one solid color, and a light color is good because then you can really see the pigment from the eyeshadows that you use. And now we are going to start the eyeshadow. I definitely like to use multiple eyeshadow palettes for show day makeup because I feel like pulling from a bunch of different palettes, getting a bunch of different colors and dimensions looks the best. But for the sake of this video and understanding that a lot of y'all probably aren't makeup gurus, I'm going to stick to one palette and one palette only. I feel like this is the perfect universal palette to use for show day makeup. It doesn't matter what color your suit is. Bronze, too good. We are keeping it simple. We are only sticking to this eyeshadow palette, Nothing else. This is all we need. We are going for a cut crease, and I want a lot of shimmer because I know the lashes on stage are going to take up a lot of the space right here. So we're going to need to do a cut crease to cut it pretty high so you can still see the shimmer. Otherwise, your eyes are just going to look super, super dark. But we also want to keep the actual crease itself pretty dark so you have a lot of dimension, because with the tan, your skin color is going to be a completely different shade. So everything should look smoky as fuck, because by the time you do your foundation and you have the tan on and you have your suit on and the stage lights hit you, everything gets washed out. So you need to go very, very heavy with the makeup. To start, I am taking All That, this super light shade right here. Just taking this on a fluffy brush, and we're gonna pack that right under my brow bone. And I will go in and hit this a few times because, again, you are pretty much doing drag makeup. Like, everything is going to be really, really dramatic. You're going to be using a lot of product. More is more in this scenario. Now that we have all that packed in, I'm going in with a super fluffy blending brush in the crease. And we're going to start light and then build our way up to those darker shades. I'm going to start with this shade right here, Never Leaving, and I'm going to mix it with Views down here. These are going to be our two light matte shades that we work into the crease. And we'll work this into the upper brow bone, tapping off the extra pigment. You can always add more, but you can't take away with eyeshadow, so it's always best to go in with a light hand. And then I'm just taking windshield wiper motions and going all in my crease. Then with light pressure, allowing that brush to come up into my brow bone. But when I'm in the crease, I'm pushing and adding heavier pressure to build up that color and make it pretty dark. I will go in with circular motions across everything I just did to blend it out more. And then I go back in with those windshield wiper motions. We will do the same thing on the other side. Periodically, throughout every step, I kind of just look straight on and make sure that everything is looking symmetrical, so your eyes look exactly the same on each side. And then again, light pressure and dragging that up into my brow bone. And now for these darker pigments, you're gonna go in with a smaller crease brush. This one has stiffer ends. It's not as wispy, so you can see the comparison in the two. This one's a lot thinner, and then the bristles don't go out as much. They don't wisp out as much, so it's more of like a packing brush to pack pigment in. So now we are going to hit up our darker colors. I'm going in with Far Off and hitting the pan just mostly on the tip of the brush. And then again, dusting that off, giving it a little blow because I do not want this to not blend seamlessly. I'm going in at my crease, but because I'm taking into consideration needing to do a cut crease, I'm not gonna go too low, because if I go too low, I'm gonna put the concealer right over the darkest pigment. It's just not gonna look good. So you're going essentially right over your normal crease where you would usually put your darkest shade. And then again, if this comes too low, don't freak the fuck out. You are going to be fine. You have concealer. We're going to clean it all up. So don't worry if it goes too low, but focus on making sure you do go high enough. You don't want it to be too low because you need that darkness to contrast from the pigment shade that you're going to use. And then I'm doing the same thing. So to pack it, I kind of just press it into my crease. And then once the pigment is all over, I'll go in with those circular motions. And I find that the circular motions will kind of blend it in and pack it in better than those windshield wiper motions. So packing all of this in about there. Going in with that first fluffy brush we used in the crease and blending all of that out. And then we'll go in on the other side, same thing.
Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. So don't nobody else make me feel like. Yeah. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. So now nobody else make me feel like.
As y'all can see here, this is pretty dark right now, but with a dark foundation and the Show Day Tan, this will get so washed out, it's not nearly dark enough. So we need to keep building this color up until it's honestly 4 shades darker. So what I'm gonna do is keep going in with Far Off in this packing brush. I'm going to keep building that up, blending it out with the first wispy brush until it's the darkness that I want. I would go in with this shade, but there's a slight shimmer, so I'm going to save that, and I have a little technique for her. So we're going to hit her up later. Y'all are just going to see me B-roll this shit, building this up until it's dark enough.
Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like. Don't nobody else make me feel like.
Now to add a little bit more color to this, I'm going to go back in with Never Leaving with the fluffy brush. Give her a whiz. I'm just going to put this all on top of the crease where we just went, but just kind of on the highest part of it. And this is just going to add a little bit more color, a little bit more dimension, and it's just going to help smooth things out and blend everything together. Now I'm going in with this brush, but you can keep using a brush like this. I just want one that has a little bit finer of a point. I'm going in with Far Off again. And again, going into the crease, making it a little bit darker. This one does have that wispy effect, so it is good for blending. So I probably won't need to blend too much of that out. This is the last time we'll be hitting up the crease with that color. So really just trying to fine tune all the details in there and making sure that everything is blending. And then going back in with the wispy, giving her a blend. Perfect. And then I'll blend out here so that all looks smooth too. This is the technique I was telling you that we are going to use for this darkest shade in the palette because it has that shimmer. I'm going back in with this pointy brush and we're going to hit her up right on the point. So hitting that up, light blow, and then packing her into the crease. And we're keeping this just to the crease because we do not want this coming up high. We don't need any more darkness there. I just want a little bit more dimension in the crease so when we cut the crease, it looks really smooth. And I'm just building that all up in my crease and then pushing upward like that to pack it a little bit higher since we're going in with the cut crease. Okay, yeah, now I love that. And now just going in with windshield wiper motions right over my crease. The worst part, you guys. Cutting the crease. I hate this part. I hate this part so much. Especially on myself. It's so much easier doing it on someone else. I advise y'all to start small if you have not done a cut crease before. But hopefully you're watching this video before show day and you're trying this out before show day. I'm taking this Morphe X REL brush. I only use this for concealer. Concealer's on my hand. We're coming here, getting a light layer of concealer on the brush. To map out your cut crease, you need to look at yourself with your eyes open. I'm kind of mapping out where I want the shimmer. And then I like to tilt my head back so I can see all of my eyelid space and kind of map out like, I think that will look good. And then take a look and see if you like where that looks. I know I need the shimmer to be high. I know I'm going to need it to come here. So I'm kind of thinking right there is going to look good. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So we're going to go in. Oh, fuck, I hate this. Okay, fuck. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go back in with more concealer and stamp all that in. Okay, now you're gonna take the tip of your beauty blender and go over the concealer, but try not to hit the eyeshadow. Okay. Fuck yeah. Take a look and see if anything needs to be adjusted. I think I'm gonna make the inner part a little bit higher because as you can see, I like where that comes down and I want to match that. So bringing that a little bit higher, taking a look and kind of mapping out in my head where I need to be. Okay, and now I'm just going to take my finger and stamp over that. We want to leave this kind of dewy because it's going to make your shimmers and pigments way brighter. Okay, so now I'm going to do it on the other side. Whoa, jump scare. Okay, now we're going with the shimmers, my favorite parts. I am going to take this brush that I very clearly only use for shimmer shadows. And let's see, let's do some swatches and see what we like. Okay, so we got like a pinky with some gold undertones. Glimmer, this is the first shimmer. Super yellow undertones. This Golden Waves is a very thick one, and that's what we're really going to use on the inner corner coming all the way to like the middle of your eye. And then these darker shadows we will put in the corner, and then yeah, we'll probably build this up into the middle. So going right in, I will go in with the lightest shade and then work my way to the darker shades. So coming in here and taking Glimmer and then packing that against the concealer and then doing the same on the other side. And we're stopping in that inner corner. You're almost going to do an ombre effect, the brightest part in your inner corner, and then it's going to get a little bit darker as you come out. Now I'm going in with Honey Dipped, light blow, and then starting right here, dragging it down right next to what we just did with Glimmer, packing that, and then I will pack over onto the other shade and then blend it over onto the other side where the concealer is at. So pack down and then blend around. Hey, ooh, I really like that. Yeah. On the other side of my brush, I'm going to take Summer Nights and we're going to come on the outside and work that in, but I'm starting far out and I'm just going to drag it down and keep this on the outer corner of my eye. I do not want this coming in too much, but we will blend it in. Let me, like, what side did I use? Okay, Slime. So coming right on the outer corner and then packing and blending it in here. On these outer corners, I like to blend it into the shadow so it doesn't look as aggressive cut crease. Now I'm going in with Warm Haze, and this is going to be our transition shadow between the dark one and the more medium one. So pulling that in from the dark shadow and then packing that into the crease. There we go. And then blending that all on top of the other shadow, like so. And then we'll hit this side. Oh yeah. And then I like to go in and just blend that crease out a little bit now that you've added your shimmers. Slay. And now we are going to make it very, very, very bright. So grab that same shimmer brush, hit it with some setting spray, going in with Golden Waves. And like I said, this is a very thick eyeshadow. So really softly packing this on because there is so much pigment. And then work that all the way up. And I like to stop about midway. Oh yeah. Yeah. So good. Okay, now the other side. Oh fuck. We are ready to move on to our foundation. Oh, this is gonna look so crazy without me being show day tan right now, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna do it. Let me do this. Yeah, clock that eyeshadow. I know you see that. This is Syracuse and Tahoe by NARS. I like to use both of them. When you're shopping for a foundation shade for stage makeup, I honestly recommend going like 4 shades darker. You can always make things darker with your bronzer and brighter with your concealer, so don't worry too much. But the worst thing is going too light with your foundation and then looking super washed out on stage. It honestly just looks silly against the tan, especially if you're doing like a pro tan or a pro tan DIY kit. Those are always going to be super dark, super bronzy and beautiful, and if your foundation is too light, you're going to look dumb. So do with that information what you will. Definitely go darker. Like I said, you can always make it brighter with concealer if you need to. I just pumped right onto my face, and then which one's darker? Okay, Syracuse is lighter, so I'm gonna use more of Tahoe and less of Syracuse. I hate this feeling. For reference, this is like my usual shade, or I'll mix that with one of them. Now, super easy, just go in with a beauty blender or a brush and blend this all into your skin. I also recommend doing your top coat of your tan the morning of show fasted and then doing your makeup so you can blend the makeup into your tan versus needing to go back in with makeup after it's completely done because the tan fucked it up and it doesn't blend. I go in with a dry beauty blender. This is, again, a hot take. A lot of people don't like doing that, but I honestly find that it gives the most full coverage look, and it blends, in my opinion, better than going in with a wet one because it just absorbs too much of the makeup product, and I just feel like it doesn't look as good. I'm using the Real Techniques beauty sponge. I got this one from Walgreens the other day, the e.l.f. sponges. And you're supposed to be able to use them dry or wet, but I actually hated that. So going in with the beauty blender that is intended to be used only wet is my advice. And make sure you hit those ears. There we go. Yeah, this looks fucking crazy. And being careful and using the point of the beauty blender to blend right under that eyeshadow so there's no weird like, whoa, what the fuck, why do you look white as hell right there? And then coming in under the eyes, around the brows. Okay, for this part, I usually just focus on being super meticulous with the concealer there rather than the foundation because it's a little tricky to not fuck up the eyeshadow. Now that you're serving Oompa Loompa, we can move on to concealer. I love the One Size concealer for show day makeup. It is so good, but I also adore the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm gonna go in with the One Size because I do think this is very full coverage and nobody will see shit on your face if you're wearing this, but I also like the NARS one. Going in here, under your eyes. Don't be scared to use a lot of product, okay? And especially when you go in with your under eye for show day makeup, you want this to be really bright because you want your face to pop on stage. So don't be scared that this is what the color difference looks like. And then hitting that up here. Oh, however, now thinking back, I low-key think this is not the same one that I used for my show day makeup. I think I may have got one a little bit darker. It's fine. We can always fix it. Going in with that same beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend all of this out. Y'all saw I was just using the bottom of this to blend out anything that was like too bright. All right. That looks good. And then I'm taking the back with less product and just going back over my under eyes to blend all of that out so it doesn't look as drastic. So you can already see the difference there. Yeah, that looks way better. That was definitely like 3 shades lighter than the one that I bought for my show, but it's fine. See? Told you, everything can be fixed. Now we are going to set our makeup. I use the Huda Beauty Translucent Setting Powder. This is the shade Pound Cake. Fuck, they changed the packaging for this. If y'all use this, and it pisses me the hell off. I literally hate it. Taking your setting powder, I'm gonna set my entire face. If you do a cream, the step before this is when you would do that. Or same thing if you do a cream blush before you do powder blush, I would do that before you set your face and then set your face after. Not all of them do this, but this Huda Beauty setting powder, it almost oxidizes a little bit, and I find that once you set your entire face, everything looks a tad bit darker. Oh my god, it's like hot. I'm like, do not start sweating right now. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Okay, fuck. Let me plug y'all in. Hold up. Okay, we are back. Y'all are on the other side, sorry. My battery is charging and I'm pretty sure this battery is gonna be dead in like 2 seconds. Moving on to our bronzer. This is the best bronzer. I know you're probably like, Sophia girl, what the fuck? This is Laguna 8. Just going in with a fluffy brush and going in here, around, up here, and then under here. And then I'll blend it up here. When it comes to figuring out where you need to put your bronzer, I honestly just recommend following your natural contour of your face. Always just use your natural face structure, jaw structure, bone structure, everything. And I will say the leaner you get, the less you're gonna need to bronze. You probably don't need to go super heavy, but obviously I'm in off season, so I will be contouring the fuck out of my face. Can't wait to go downstairs and show Jacob this, and he's gonna be like, what the fuck? You look crazy. All right. And then going in lightly, because this is super, super dark, just hitting the perimeter of my forehead, using a very light hand to blend it out right there. Yeah. Last part, hitting under your jaw. And again, I just follow my natural bone structure, and then you'll blend it up onto here. So you have a seamless transition from under your jaw onto your face. Blend it down into your tan or whatever, but obviously I'm not doing that because I don't have that. For nose contour, going in, same palette, just a smaller brush, and this is from the Morphe X REL palette as well. I like to hit my nose like this from the side, working my way up and going all the way up into my brow almost, and then I'll go in up and down. Very light hand. You do not want to fuck up your nose. And then you can kind of blend this and drag it in just like that. Contour is done, and now we're gonna cut it using our setting powder. Same powder proof that we use to set our face, and you're gonna get a thick layer here. We're gonna bake our face essentially. When you're figuring out where to put this, what you need to do is figure out where you want the skinniest part of your face to be. Find that spot and you go right under it, and now that's going to brighten up this area so the darkest part is right above that sharp line. I know this is very like 2015 of me. I do this with every makeup look. It does not matter. Sick. And then I hit the sides like this, and you'll do the same thing on your nose. Just like that. This is the best shade of blush ever. It is Torrid by NARS. I discovered this for the first client that I ever prepped, her show day. We were looking for like a dark enough blush, and I found this shade. I've used it on every single client of mine since then. And this is also my everyday blush. Again, it's show day. The lights are really bright. They're gonna wash you out, so you can afford to go darker with this. And this brush that I'm taking is just an angled brush from the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill collection. So taking that blush and lightly pressing it, because it's very pigmented, right on top of my cheekbone, and then almost blending it the tiniest bit down into the bronzer, just so it blends. Pretty much all of your products will have some sort of overlap, and that's a good thing because that means that you're blending properly. So taking that and just slowly building her up. I like to hit the tip of my nose and I'll kind of go sideways. And I don't mind hitting the, why am I having a stroke? I don't mind hitting the baking powder that we have on there because it's still, again, just gonna blend that into the sides of my nose too. So it'll look good. Okay, blush is done. And now we are gonna set our under eye. This is arguably one of the most important steps. Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder. I like to dust off the excess translucent setting powder that I have on the powder poof. I go in pointing my finger here like this and putting pressure on my fingertip to hit the very top portion of this, and you're gonna go all the way in your under eye. And then you can bring that down kind of where you put your concealer. I like to drag that on the end of the eyeshadow. We'll repeat on the other side. And up by the shadow, down by the nose. And then I take the bottom, which has barely any product, and I use that to blend in the blush and the under eye powder. And now you can see automatically that's blending way better. Alright, and now we are going to take a powder brush and dust off everywhere that we put our setting powder. So under our nose contour, and I brush up and away. I really don't want to have this pigment hit anywhere, and then I'll just blend it in and then brush this off. Anywhere that I feel like needs a little bit more blending, I'll go in and do that now too. So I feel like under my eyes and right under the shadow, I want it to just look a little bit smoother. So just hitting that with no product and just bouncing all of that into my skin so it blends a little bit better. Okay. Oh, fuck. I also put, whoa, damn. I also will put this in that T-zone because, again, it is so brightening. Hit that on my T-zone right here, and then same thing, back of that, blending over everything we just did so it blends with all the other product we have in that area as well. And now everything looks perfectly blended, besides this up here that I just caught. Okay, and on this side, there we go. Okay, hell yeah. Okay, and just because I feel like if I bring y'all up, you can see how we're looking a little bit better. Okay, Sly, we're gonna keep going. Sephora's brow pencil. I'm not gonna lie, I do have elite brow genetics because I'm half Italian and half Indian. So I really don't need to do too much with my brows. I honestly just go over what's already there. I guess we can B-roll this. Brows are done. I'm gonna set them with this NYX brow glue. It is actually so good and so cheap. These shits do not move the entire day. I'm convinced that if I left this in my eyebrow for a week, they would literally stay for a week. I'm actually gonna move y'all back over to the other side because I like y'all better over there. We are gonna move on to our highlighters. Now I'm taking this super tiny brush from the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill collection, and I'm going in with the Dior Backstage palette, and I'm gonna hit that gold right on my brow bone, only on the outside to brighten that up. There we go. And then I'll take this dark brown and pink and hit the tip of my nose. And then I take a little bit of the dark brown, a little bit of that gold, and hit the bridge of my nose. And I pack this in just like that. Yeah, that looks good. Then I'll take the dark brown and go on my Cupid's bow to add a little pop, little dimension to the lippy. Then I take this highlighting brush from the Morphe Ariel collection. I'm gonna go in just with the brown, dust that off, and I'm going over my blush right on the top of my cheekbone. And this is gonna add just like a really dewy and glowy finish, and it literally looks so good. And I know it's dark, but I do this with my everyday makeup as well. It just makes it look like you're not wearing highlighter, but like your skin just has a beautiful glow to it. And then I will also put that here in the middle. Getting my hair out of the way. That looks good. And now we'll go in and do our lower lash line eyeshadows. I'm going in with a super pointy tip brush, and I'm going in with Far Off, and then you're just gonna drag this in from your inner corner up into the pigment that you have on your lid. And then keep that kind of focused to like the outside, because you don't want to have a black fucking eye on stage. That will look really fucking bad. And then drag it up, and you can hit that and soften the edges and blend that out like that. What do you think?
I didn't know you competed this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You look so beautiful. You look like you're going for an overall.
What? I'm pro.
Oh, they don't have that in pros. You look like you're going for Ms. Olympia.
Thank you. Yeah, when they said it's a beauty pageant, it really is a beauty pageant with muscle. Anyway, gonna do the other side, BRB. Okay, and now, again, we are gonna gradient our way back up to the lighter colors. So now I'm going in with Views, and we'll take that from the middle and drag it up until it blends in with that dark shadow. Like so. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then for the lightest shade, I'm going in with Never Leaving. And that comes all the way in to your inner corner. I'm going in just with a clean-ish, I don't fucking know, maybe it's not, probably not, but I'm just going in with a cleanish brush, and I'm gonna take In the Moment ever so lightly, and then I'm gonna dust the majority of the product off, blow it off, and then I'm going under all of that to blend all of those colors in, and then also to blend that into my under eye. So you come here and then blend all of that in, and we'll hit up this too to soften those edges, because we are not living in 2013 anymore. And then dust that side. This is too good. Oh, this makes me want to compete without having to do the prep, you know? Alright, moving on. What is next? We did... Oh my god, holy shit, y'all. We're almost done. We only have a lip and lashes. If you are gonna do an eyeliner, I recommend doing that step now before you do your lashes, or sometimes I like to do it after my lashes. It really depends on the type of lash that I'm using, but with show day makeup, I would definitely do your eyeliner before. I am not gonna do any eyeliner. I did not compete with eyeliner for my first 2 shows. I don't really think it's necessary. Eyeliner is one of those things, you do have to have the look for eyeliner. Like, if your face does not look good with eyeliner, I wouldn't do it, so don't worry, it's not a necessity when it comes to show day makeup, but it can look good if it looks good on your face. So yeah, but I'm not going to do that for this video. Moving on to lashes. I love Lily lashes in the style Beverly Drive. Too good. I think that's what I used on show day, maybe. Y'all will have to go back and look at my show day vlogs because I can't remember. But I'm all out of my Lily lashes, so I honestly don't have any thick lashes. The only ones I have are these Diosa Beauty ones, literally from H-E-B. These are my, like, everyday eyelashes. So I'm gonna look crazy. But unless I have some... What are these? I threw these away, but these are Miami from Lily Lashes, which honestly are way too big. Yeah, that's all I have. Oh wait, me just convinced that they're just gonna like show up even though I just moved into this house and know that I don't have any extra lashes. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna put these lashes on. This is very much a hot take, but I don't really like applying lashes after I've done my mascara. I like going in and I don't even curl my lashes. I just put the eyelashes on, and then if I want to, I'll blend them in, or if I need to because there's like fallout, I'll blend in mascara on my natural lashes into the artificial lash. However, my natural lashes already do have a little bit of a curl to them, so even if I don't curl them, it doesn't really affect the look. You can't see my lashes in contrast to the fake lash. So if you need to curl your lashes, do that before you put on the lashes, obviously. I honestly just recommend using like a duo lash glue, but the liquid ones, the white liquid. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. I don't know. I was gifted this, but it really looks exactly like duo lash. So I'm gonna put these on off cam and then we'll keep going. Okay, lashes are done. If I had a Lily lash, it would look so much better, but it's fine. I'm gonna go in with Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara color. There we go. I like to use a waterproof mascara. Honestly, I do this everyday makeup or any makeup because I feel like they just hold up way better. There's like way less transfer onto your under eye, and you don't really have to worry if you sweat or if your eyes water. Your mascara is not going to get super runny and you're not going to be serving raccoon. So love a waterproof mascara, and a good makeup remover will take this off in no time. Last step, we're going back in with the Dior Backstage palette and this tiny brush. We're going in with the gold and the white and hit that inner corner and give it that pop. Yeah, that looks really good. And this side here. Perf. Okay, now we are going to do the lippy, keeping that neutral tone. I'm going to use MAC's Cork lip liner and put that all around my lips. Now I'm going in with MAC's Warm Teddy, and I'm going to hit the outer portion of my upper and lower lips. And then I'm going to rub that together to blend it in with the lip liner. Now I'm going to take Yash by MAC and hit the innermost part of my lip, upper and lower. And this is a lighter color. Brightness to the inside of your lip is really going to give them that pop and make them look super full. Okay, now we're going to take our setting powder or setting spray. Charlotte Tilbury is actually the best. Nothing compares. I'm not doing a lot because I'm taking this off in 5 minutes. One size, also really fucking good. I like to use both of them. With show day makeup, you are never going to do a gloss because obviously you're going to be moving on stage, you're going to be flipping your hair, and you don't want the hair to get stuck to your lip gloss. And also with all the lights, you don't need that bouncing off, so I think like a satin lip looks the best. Alright y'all, there you have it, your beginner's guide to show day makeup. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a very universal show day makeup look. This is going to work with a lot of different suit colors, a lot of different skin tones. I think it's the perfect makeup look if you don't know what you're doing or if you don't know what to do this. Okay, it works good. Judges love it all the time. Every time I've done this or similar to this on myself or a client, judges always compliment their makeup. So trust me, they love it. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I really do want to turn this into a playlist because I love doing makeup. Like when I tell y'all I have been so excited to film this video, this to me is peak. Like I used to do this, these whole YouTube makeup tutorials. Yeah, I've been about that life. I've actually been doing this since like the 6th grade. Like I would do my makeup, talk y'all through it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Like beauty influencing, this is what I wanted to do. So coupling that into bodybuilding, I'm like, yeah, show day makeup, that's where I want to be. So let me know if y'all have any requests on different colored makeup, smoky eye tutorial, how to do eyeliner, whatever y'all want to see, let me know in the comments because I would love to post more videos like this. They are so fun to me. Obviously, we cannot end this video without getting Bay's reaction to the complete look.
Okay. No, I like it.
Because it's like it could also be day and night. It's not the overly top where they're just like, it's like
Drag.
Well, I was gonna say like a fucking third grader like getting in the glitter thing and just like smearing it on their face.
Yes. So makeup terms, like girl terms, that's exactly what this is supposed to be. Because I'm like, I want to make this into a playlist and then also do like a smoky eye if you want to do a more dramatic dark show day makeup look, or even getting into different colors. But this, I'm like, you can do this with any color suit.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. So
no, I like it.
slay. All right, y'all. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Do not forget to let me know y'all's requests in the comments if you have any show day makeup requests for your shows coming up, because I know competition season is heating up and y'all are going to be competing like clockwork. So, love y'all so much. See you in the next one.